There are many reasons to love Clovis, California, but there are also some major cons of which to be aware. As a resident of the Fresno and Clovis area for the last 31 years, I'd like to share some of my experience and some of the pros and cons of living in Clovis, California. If you're new here, my name is Justin, and this is Living in Clovis, California, where I explore everything there is to know about living in and moving to the Clovis area. I'm also a licensed realtor and would love to assist you in your real estate journey. My information is in the description below. Let's get started. A small disclaimer before we begin: everyone's preferences are a little bit different. One person's pro could be another person's con. This list is based on my personal experience and is my own opinion. Here we go. With Highway 168 cutting across a majority of Clovis, and major speedways like Herndon Avenue running east to west, many of Clovis's residents have access to major Fresno amenities. One of Fresno's biggest shopping centers, River Park, can be accessed from most of Clovis. Some of the newer developments in Clovis to the southeast, such as Loma Vista, are a little bit out of the way and don't have as easy access to the highway or the speedway. To compensate, this community is planning on developing their own shopping center, with shopping opportunities, dining experiences, and high-density residential units. Clovis isn't exactly known for its nightlife. However, it does have a vibrant arts and culture scene. It seems like there's a different event happening almost every weekend throughout the year, with art festivals, farmers markets, food truck meetups, live music, the rodeo, and so much more. There's never a shortage of things to do. I sometimes hear people say, "There isn't much to do here." And I strongly disagree. I truly believe that you find what you are looking for. Local shops and restaurants, community events, parks, you name it, Clovis probably has it, or it's a short drive away in Fresno. As you get further east from the Fresno border on Willow Avenue, the countryside becomes more and more apparent. It's quiet and clean, with ample parks and recreation opportunities like walking and bike paths. You'll notice remnants of the old Clovis countryside absorbed into some of the newer developments. You'll occasionally see sheep and horses on small acreages right next to some of the newer housing developments. With so many new developments popping up, finding a home that blends the Clovis countryside with a tight-knit community has never been more accessible. Off the top of my head, Loma Vista in southeast Clovis, DeVille East in North Clovis, and even the more seasoned Harlan Ranch in the far northeast Clovis. All three of these neighborhoods have very distinct feels and price points, and all of them border the Clovis countryside. There seem to be parks around every corner in Clovis. Many neighborhoods have small parks right in the center of their communities. There are also many major parks, such as Pasatiempo Park, Dry Creek Park, Rotary Park, Railroad Park, and that's just to name a few. Dry Creek Park in the Glorieta neighborhood features the Clovis Botanical Gardens, which is a nice way to pass time on a sunny afternoon. Admittedly, the Clovis Botanical Gardens isn't a major attraction and probably not worth driving across town, but my wife and I have enjoyed many relaxing strolls through the garden after having lunch at the park together. If you're in the area, it's worth checking out. There are many opportunities for youth sports as well, including baseball, softball, soccer, and martial arts, to keep your family active year-round. One thing Clovis does incredibly well is recreation. Clovis is in the Central Valley of California, which is geographically a desert. The coldest months in Clovis are typically December and January, with an average high of 57 degrees and an average low of 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, there's the occasional night below freezing, but it's rare to see anything below 30 degrees for most of the year. My extended family is from rural Iowa, and they would probably scoff at 30 degrees being considered cold. We also get very little rain, which is considered a pro and a con. Being in the desert, we can find ourselves desperately needing rainfall, especially with all the valley's agriculture. Late 2023 and early 2024 has felt a little bit different than usual. I'm not sure on the exact numbers of rainfall, but it does feel like we've gotten a lot more than usual. But don't quote me on that. Or do. I'm not your babysitter. Clovis Unified School District is known for being among the top-ranking districts in all of California. Aside from the standard curriculum, high schools in the area also offer career technical education coursework, which span over 15 industry sectors, such as agriculture, engineering, finance and business, transportation, fashion, construction, and many more. It seems like this type of coursework has become less and less abundant in California over the years. Clovis Unified is not perfect by any means. Class sizes can be overwhelmingly large, and the district is often criticized for falling victim to playing politics. But something the district does undeniably well is extracurricular activities. From sports to clubs, most students participate in something outside of the classroom. The new Clovis South High School is set to open as part of the Terry Bradley Education Center in fall of 2025. It's in southeast Clovis near the Loma Vista neighborhood. Quick tip, always verify the school boundaries before you move because they are always subject to change. In this post-pandemic world, alternative forms of education have become more popular than ever before. The city of Clovis offers several independent study programs with online options, as well as some charter schools and cohorts. Something I feel is often overlooked is adult education in Clovis. Clovis Adult Education offers a variety of programs such as dance, self-defense, comedy, professional development, money management, and more. One of my personal goals for 2024 is to learn American Sign Language, which will most likely begin with enrolling in an adult education course. One of the major pros of living in Clovis is that the Central Valley is in the center of California. There are several opportunities for beautiful day trips from Clovis, such as Yosemite National Park, Kings Canyon National Park, Monterey Bay, Pismo Beach, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and that's just to name a few. It's easy to take for granted just how many beautiful landscapes are within a short drive. Disneyland is also just over 4 hours away, making it a viable weekend trip. I know 4 hours might seem like a long drive, but what people often underestimate is just how long California is as a state. It can take upwards of 12 hours just to go from the northern border all the way down to the southern border. To put that into perspective, it's almost as long as it takes to go from Clovis to Salt Lake City, Utah. Being in the center of the action has its major benefits. Now let's switch gears and discuss some of the cons of living in Clovis. In 2023, Clovis was 45% more expensive than the national average, with a minimum household income of $94,000. Although Clovis falls below the California average in terms of cost, there are many areas nearby that provide a more affordable cost of living. These areas include Fresno, Sanger, Madera, and even some South Valley cities like Tulare and Visalia. As a quiet and sleepy suburban city, there are very few nightlife opportunities in Clovis. While there are many bars, restaurants, craft breweries, and events, the nightclub and nightlife scene is much stronger in Fresno. If you are in a phase of your life where that is of major importance, I would recommend checking out Fresno's Tower District, which has a very strong arts and culture scene and many nightlife opportunities. As discussed earlier, a common sentiment is, there isn't much to do here in Clovis. Although I disagree, I have to acknowledge that everyone is looking for something different. If you're looking to be more in the mix and get that big city vibe, Fresno might be a better fit for you. As I mentioned before, the Central Valley is a desert. Summer can be long and hot, sporting temperatures from the low 100s to the upper 90s from about May, sometimes all the way through September. It's hot. Summer fires are also a major hazard in California, and unfortunately, the smoke from those forest fires can often settle in the valley for weeks and sometimes months. While there are many opportunities to beat the heat in Clovis, such as Wildwater Adventure Park or Sierra Vista Cinemas, Clovis residents often find themselves enjoying their air conditioning inside of their homes for a majority of the summer, which, although sounds nice, often leads to some pretty high energy bills as well. Solar systems are becoming more commonplace in newer homes, but some of the older homes in the area haven't quite transitioned into that energy-efficient age. To be fair, heat is relative in my experience. I've spent some time in San Francisco when it was 80 degrees and some time in North Carolina at 80% humidity, and let me tell you, I felt like I was melting. This doesn't make Clovis any cooler, but if we consider that there are uncomfortable temperatures in any place throughout the year, really, we have to pick our best poison. Overall, Clovis can be a great place to live. I've personally considered uprooting and moving to another state or city in the past, but ultimately, Clovis has everything I could ask for. If you have any questions about what it's like to live in Clovis, or any topics you'd like me to cover in the future, please let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.